Good morning from the Estonian and Russian border. Welcome to the city of Narva, where it's very cold and very rainy today. It was snowing all of yesterday, but overnight that's all melted and now it is grim. But today we're heading back towards Tallinn, and on the way there's a place that we really want to go. It's a place that we've read a lot about and is very interesting. It's a former closed Soviet city here in Estonia. And if you don't know what that is, when we're on the way or when we get there, we'll explain. On that note, we're packed up and let's head to a closed Soviet city. Are you okay?
It's just my morning exercise.
The bus costs €5 each to get there. Matt checked the prices for a taxi. It's only €15. So, do I need to tell you anymore which type of transport we're taking there? I think it's raining outside as well. Don't think it should be allowed to rain in the winter. Can we leave, please? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So bad.
215.
Ага. Мини-баром пользовались?
Нет?
Нет.
Все, тогда все в порядке.
Спасибо большое. До свидания. Всего хорошего. Everything looks so much better under snow.
Driver found. 1 minute. Oh, he's here.
Oh.
Where is he? I think he's in the park.
What's the car?
Oh, maybe he's in the car park.
Yeah, what's the car?
TNK. It's the black one over there.
Oh yeah. BMW.
Yeah.
Oh no. That one. Здравствуйте. Конечно.
Хорошо, конечно. Ой. Sillamäe, да?
Да.
Отлично.
У вас с первого раза получилось вызвать?
Да.
Потому что я просто...
Потому что это цель.
А так бы никто бы другой не поехал бы, я знаю.
Да?
Да?
Потому что цена очень смешная.
Да.
Да, это не обычная цена.
Потому что Болт издевается над водителями.
Ой, блин. Так, спасибо большое. Возьмите чаевые. Это вам.
Спасибо вам большое.
Спасибо, наплакала.
Вам спасибо.
Всего хорошего. Спасибо большое. До свидания. Here we are.
Don't use Bolt in Estonia. Who knew? You can't use Bolt. An Estonian company, and it's better to use Uber. There you go. You've heard it here first from old Yelena. Welcome to Sillamäe. Welcome to what used to be a closed Soviet city. That means that if you look at a map of the USSR, you would not have seen any trace of Sillamäe on the map. You wouldn't have known this place existed. There's a very good reason for that. Let's take a walk into the centre and we'll tell you why.
In the year 1946, uranium was discovered in this area, and at that time the Soviet Union was racing to build a nuclear weapon. So it was decided that here a town will be built to process uranium, which meant that all traces of existing life were wiped completely off the map, which means no one could find it and no one would know that this place exists. So this city was built in a Stalinist style and became known as Soviet Closed City. Life here in a closed city was much better than the rest of the Soviet Union. It was the case everywhere in any closed city. People used to have access to better food, films, and lots of things that other people would have dreamed from the rest of the Soviet Union. They would get much better wages as well. So everyone wanted to come and work in these closed off cities because life was much, much better here.
And people were brought here from all over the USSR to perform important tasks for one of the most important projects there was then in the Soviet Union. But now this is part of modern Estonia, and post-independence, the industry in Sillamäe has disappeared, which has resulted in people moving out en masse, especially young people moving to the bigger cities, and perhaps some back to Russia. Many were brought here from cities in Russia, from places in Ukraine, and further on in the USSR. And that does mean to this day, the people that do live in Sillamäe still are mainly Russian speakers. The city overall is another Russian speaking city, just like Narva up the road. But these days, unlike before, there's not much prestige to be living here in Sillamäe. All that's left is these beautiful historical buildings to fall into ruin.
Здравствуйте. Скажите, пожалуйста, это центр города, да,
Считается,
считается?
да, хотя как бы центр-то потихоньку туда уполз.
Туда.
Ага.
Ага. А вы
Это
сами-
старый центр, да, получается?
Да, здесь вот это вот, ну, как сейчас называется, ратуша,
Ага.
горисполком раньше был.
М.
Вот сюда немножко не видно, вот тут дом культуры.
Ага.
Эта школа была, не работает.
Вот это школа была.
Да, уже не работает, бог знает сколько.
Да? А потому что народа нет?
Ну, детей меньше.
Мгм.
Одно время тут институт в нем был, потом как бы лицензию лишили.
А
Вы
как?
сами здесь живете, да?
Сами здесь.
Когда вы приехали сюда?
Я здесь родился.
Вы
А,
здесь
да?
родились?
Да.
Ого.
Как раз вот в том доме, пардон, лет до 25 прожил.
Ага. Как изменилась жизнь здесь за последние 35 лет?
Как бы сказать, ну, вопрос такой нескромный, но какой предмет интересуетесь?
Ну, по поводу работы,
просто жизнь,
уровень жизни, потому что мы слышали, вот в советское время здесь было очень
потому что,
хорошая жизнь.
да,
Да?
я говорю, что цепляет. Ну, в советское время город рос, завод, скажем так, градообразующее предприятие, как это называется. Плюс карьеры рядом.
Мгм.
Сейчас начать с того, что производства по всей Эстонии мало. Соответственно, электричества меньше надо, карьеры столько не нужны. Ну, часть людей, часть в Россию переехала, часть в Таллин, в Тарту, крупные города. Ну, предприятий много закрылось. Небольшой завод работает, ну так. Ну, типа суда своего нету, ЗАГС убрали, банки, по-моему, одного только осталось, как бы представительство, как контора.
А сейчас, если вам, допустим, в банк надо в Нарву уехать, да?
Нарву или Ихви.
Да?
А так магазины у вас есть, больницы здесь?
Магазины есть, там врачи какие-то приезжают, там, раз в неделю, кто-то раз в месяц
Мгм,
приезжает.
мгм.
Не знаю, сами откуда?
Я вообще,
Да.
я из Кемерово,
Так.
из Новосибирска.
Ну, я представляю, где.
Я англичанин.
Ну,
Я
я
за ним.
чувствую с
Да, да,
акцентом
да.
немножко. У меня английский, к сожалению,
Да.
не настолько, чтобы свободно говорить. Так сказать,
Здрасте.
что-то,
Как интересно, родились вы в закрытом городе. Ну, как?
в принципе,
Такую уникальность, да.
Ну,
как
да.
по мне. Сейчас я периодически, так сказать, как бы, ну так, в шутку, ну, подчеркиваю, что я-то настоящий в Силламе.
Ну да.
Супер. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Олег.
Олег, очень приятно. Матвей.
Меня
Матвей.
Юлия зовут. Приятно познакомиться.
Было очень
Спасибо
приятно с вами
большое, что
общаться.
рассказали нам, всё очень интересно.
Давай.
Так
Мы
интересно
не
было.
будем вам отвлекать больше.
Ну, то заболтали вас, стоим тут с вами.
Болтали. Чуть ли не в этом же году, или конец прошлого, или начало этого, там сделали, как это, ну, типа скайпарка.
Ага.
А,
То есть где-то там лазить по этим.
ну спасибо, Олег. Сейчас посмотрим, сейчас
Большое.
погуляем.
Пойдем,
Потихоньку делаем.
смотрите сами.
Ну,
Мгм.
Время, конечно, не...
Ну да, конечно.
Ну,
конечно.
погоду не выбрать, да. Что поделать. Спасибо большое.
Спасибо, хорошего дня.
До свидания.
Спасибо, до свидания.
Nice.
Oh, Oleg, what a guy. So, obviously we're going to cut our conversation out. What a lovely guy. But we were just talking to him for about half an hour at least. And he told us all about the history here in Sillamäe, about his life, him and his wife, and the differences in the city. What a lovely guy, honestly.
People are so sweet around here. Like, we noticed that people in Narva and here are just so lovely, so open and welcoming, really friendly.
So we come up to the seafront here in Sillamäe, and you can see the new promenade they've just built along here a few years ago. Oleg was saying that they've built it all the way along from the big factory. It used to be, I'm guessing, the uranium factory, all the way along here and then down to the other side of the city. So that's really cool. We actually noticed online there's a few apartments that you can rent overnight here. So I wonder if people are coming to Sillamäe for tourism from here in Estonia, maybe from Tallinn for a long weekend. And look at this on this side, the beautiful beach up on the Baltic Sea here. That's a beautiful sandy beach, and you can see all the way along the coast, and that over there will be Russia already over there.
I was reading that the waste from the processing of uranium was dumped in a pond near the shore of the Baltic Sea. Does it mean that it would all seep into the Baltic Sea and the Baltic Sea has like nuclear particles in it? Possible.
I mean, yeah, I'll ask the universe. I don't know the answer, but interesting.
Because I was just thinking that would be so nice to have a swim in the Baltic Sea when we're back in Tallinn, but now I'm like, do I want to grow an extra tail? I said an extra tail like I already
Yeah, I
have
was going
one.
to say.
There is something you don't know
Yeah,
about
what
me.
parts of you have I not seen? We just walked past a couple of elderly couples, and thus far all we've seen is elderly people. I'm sure there are young people here in Sillamäe, but that's all we've seen, and it got me thinking about the changes that the people here must have gone through in their lifetimes. You know, they probably moved here in its heyday when this place was, all were born here, but when this place was a thriving closed city with products that you couldn't have got in other parts of the USSR, and they were working for the USSR, for the Soviet Union. They watched the breakup, the fall of that, and it to become independent Estonia, the industry to die off, the currency to change to the Estonian currency, which I'm not going to pretend I know what it was. Prior to the euro, maybe Estonian krona, something like that. But then it changed to the euro. Estonia entered the EU. The changes in the official language, right? Most of the people here are Russian speakers. Estonian became the official language, only official language here in Estonia, which means there's so much adaptation needed from these people, you know. The changes in their life is just fascinating. Absolutely fascinating how much they've seen. It gets you thinking about how the world always changes, right?
I'm just thinking. We say all the time with you that everything changes so quick, and sometimes it's quite hard to fathom or to get your head around. COVID was 6 years ago. To me, it seems like it was maximum 2 years ago.
I know.
And how much has changed since then. we keep saying, like, before you could get a train from Moscow to Berlin, you know, no problem. Like, you could cross this border again really easy. And now everything is just so different at the same time, but it doesn't seem that way because there is not enough time to process it. And I said to Matt, I wonder how much we're gonna go through during our lifetime, how much change there will be. It's fascinating and quite... Why so much?
Yeah, I think when you think of it in that aspect, like in that way, it's quite scary, right? A little bit.
Yeah, to me it is.
How much change these people have endured, but then how much potentially is waiting ahead of us as well.
It's like speeding up all the time.
Yeah, the world's ever changing. And there looks like, talking of ever changing, the weather's about to change. The rain looks like it's rolling in from Russia just over there. Wanted to show you these quickly along the promenade here. They're dotted all the way along. These are little barbecue areas. There's one here, one there, one there, one there, and then further down as you continue. That's really cool. In the summer here, if the weather's nice and sunny, the sun will be shining across the Baltic here. It doesn't get dark until really, really, really late. You sit out in the evening on the benches, have a barbecue, cook some shashlik, mashlik. Lovely. Wow. It's actually really nice along the front here in Sillamäe, and you often see the old town area that we just started in, that we got dropped off in. But this is something I'd never seen when we were reading about this place online. Really nice. Especially the view over the factory. It's like home, isn't it? It's like Kemenova. We're going to go inside the old cultural house here in Sillamäe. Let's have a look.
No, we're not gonna go.
Fuck. Closed. Brilliant.
Opens at 2, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's coming. Someone's coming.
Опа.
Здрасте.
Это закрыто, да?
Сегодня да.
А,
Ну,
понятно.
сегодня только с 2
Да-да.
будет работать.
Хорошо, понятно.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Ходите.
All buses at 2:30, so...
That's the end of that.
Apparently everything inside is built in Stalinist style. We wanted to see that. Sounded interesting. But what can we do?
One thing to say is Sillamäe is very, very clean. Everywhere you walk, just like everywhere in Estonia, to be honest, incredibly, incredibly clean. And this isn't a ghost town. I don't know if it's given this impression, but during the end of the USSR in 1989, the population was around 20,000, 20,500, and now it's around 11,800 according to latest estimates. So it's about, I guess, lost around 40-something% of its population, but it's not a ghost town. This is still a functioning town, and actually I think in Estonian terms it's still quite a sizable town. I think Narva has a population of 52,000 now, and it's like the 3rd biggest city in Estonia. So yeah, this is still a sizable town, and it's definitely not a ghost town.
Somehow, you know, it gives me similar vibes to Pyramiden in the Arctic.
Yeah.
A ghost town. Soviet ghost town.
I think perhaps the style of buildings are similar because they're
Yeah,
quite
because they
low.
were built as well during the same time, right?
Yeah, and perhaps because of the kind of feeling here that the population is declining, that perhaps the industry, compared to certainly what it was 35 years ago, is in decline as well.
But you know what? It is very clean, but you can clearly see that all the buildings that we've seen, they need some repairing done to them.
Yeah.
They look very in a bit of a state.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of decay, isn't
Yeah.
there? Like here, for example, yeah. Just
Sure.
natural movement in the buildings.
Do you reckon it's because it's near the sea as well? The sea air makes it worse.
I'd imagine the climate in general here in the Baltics is very cold and
Yeah,
very
wet. Yeah.
very wet, right? So yeah, I think that contributes towards it. Plus, just up until maybe 10 years ago, there was probably years of decline. Like Estonia's economy struggled in the 90s, early 2000s. So just kind of years and years of neglection, I guess.
But now Estonia is one of the better countries economically from the Baltics.
Estonia is a real success story, isn't it, of like the post-Soviet
Yeah.
space. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think it has the highest average wages in all of the former Soviet countries. It's definitely one of the three Baltic countries, Latvia,
sounds
Lithuania or
about right.
Estonia. But I think it's Estonia. And Estonia, if you don't know, is a bit of a tech hub. Especially Tallinn, obviously, is home to many companies many startups that have gone on
Yeah.
to become the biggest in Europe. From Skype back in the day to Bolt now, Wise, the massive fintech bank. So yeah, it's really reinvented itself well. It's just towns
Yeah.
like this, I guess, that have struggled. As always, the capital goes first,
Oh
right?
yeah. No, it's just very noticeable with all the buildings. You're just staring around and you can really see it.
Yeah. But for example, like houses here, there's double glazed windows, there's lights on,
yeah.
which means people are still living here. It's just the outside, just the facades that perhaps have
Yeah.
been a bit neglected. On the flip side again, the streets, the roads are quite nice. The
Oh yeah, actually they're
pathways
way
are nice.
better than Eastbourne, to be fair.
I mean, it's not hard these days, to be fair. There's some parts of backwater Armenia that are better than Eastbourne these days. Less said the better. Now, what we got on the old info board?
So,
Не забытые имена.
поговорим о неизвестных или почти забытых авторах. Встреча литературных объединений.
Info. Последний день лета, 25-й год.
Recent, новогодняя вечеринка для тех, кому за...
Ooh, if anyone's got a bit of free time, I don't know if this video is going to come out in time, but on the 20th of the 12th, there's a новогодняя вечеринка here in the city, in the Culture House. Maybe we should...
This is 10.
What's the date today? 16th. We could get ourselves an Airbnb for a week and live out the rest of the year here in Sillamäe.
Дед Мороз придет.
There you go. Definitely not a ghost town. If Ded Moroz is still coming here. Still got the old sign up here from the Soviet times in Russian. It says Улица имени Горького, named after Maxim Gorky. So Gorky Street, and there's the new sign over there, written in the Latin script in Estonian. It's interesting to still see, streets. Well, the old signs for sure, and also streets still named after Pushkin and Gorky and stuff like that in Estonia. Right now, it's something I didn't expect to see. That's all. Yeah, a lot of obviously the communist streets. It used to be like Lenin Street, etc. Have all been renamed, but I guess Gorky and Pushkin, you know, these are just
I guess it was
writers. Yeah, so
They haven't done anything.
no. But I don't know why. Just in my head, I thought it would be something that had disappeared.
Здрасте.
Здравствуйте. made it to the bus station, and we actually booked a bus online with Lux Express from here in Sillamäe to Tallinn, and it cost us 13 euros per person. So let's get on the bus and head to Tallinn. Just